I don't think so, but accumulative. This match could go on for another 4.5 hours. So that may take a sting out of it.
It really could. And you've been looking at the forehand, the Nadal cross-court forehand.
Yeah, I've got a few shots to look at for different players. Look where Rafa is now, returning serve. I mean, he's a long way back, and what he's doing, as opposed to when he gets it in the clay, he moves forward, and this enables him to take that forehand, which is a forehand, particularly inside out, which is a forehand we don't see. I don't think we've really seen a forehand like this in the history of tennis. And there's that much topspin, that much pace, and from that corner, most people would be hitting a backhand, but not Rafa. He hits a forehand, and that's his powerful shot. Here he sets it up with a nice serve. First plonks the forehand in the open court. So he's always looking for that forehand and to finish the point off. That's a nice body serve, which sets up one forehand, and then look at that. And that's as hard as a smash.
But when you've got a weapon like that, Boris, you've got to use it, haven't you?
You have to use it. That's his trademark. That's his signature. The forehand, as Pat said, is very unique in the history of our sport. But he plays it from the backhand corner. So most players want to get to the backhand by opening the court up via the forehand. Now you need to have a very good backhand to do so, because if you're short, Rafa's going to punish you. So that's the trick. You have to hit as hard as you can on the forehand, but obviously, you have to take some chances.
Yeah, this was Rafa just this morning, looking very relaxed and going through his warm-up. But his warm-up have more intensity and energy than most people's matches.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's just getting going here, but it really is something and no wonder people are coming to watch. It's so different, the Rafa's warm-up to Roger. Roger would be sort of relaxing and flicking balls here and there and very smooth. But his footwork is what makes Rafa, and that's, I think, of all the great things that he's done, that's what I'll remember him for probably more than anything, is how quick he can get around the ball. So, his intensity all the time, even in practice, he's, on the footwork and hitting through the ball.
It does use up a lot more energy, though, when running around that forehand, don't you?
That's correct, and that's why he was prone to injuries over his career, and that's why he has difficulty playing a whole season through, especially at the fall of the season indoors, because he puts so much effort and intensity onto his body. So he's always focusing on the clay court season and then what's next. So since he won the French Open, I think the pressure's off. I think he can relax a little bit. It's the best I've seen him on grass since 2011.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, that is good news to hear that, Boris. Well, what about his opponent today, Novak Djokovic? He's certainly getting better and better with every match that he plays. Let's hear from him. He's been talking to Rishi Prasad.
Just fantastic. Looking very sharp, dominating.
It's a big match. Obviously, quarterfinals, playing against the top player, already established top player for many years. We've played each other many times in different occasions, different surfaces, but never on grass. I guess a new experience for both of us. It was his first quarterfinals here, and he was playing well.
He's in the zone.
I played well too in the first set.
One of the greatest points of this Wimbledon.
Beginning of the second set, I got frustrated.
Field violation, unsportsmanlike conduct.
I slipped with my concentration, and I let him win the second.
Very solid first serve, makes it one set all.
Third set was quite even all the way to the middle, and then I managed to shift the gear and really end up this match really well.
Well, that was a remorseless performance from Novak Djokovic. Yes, he exhibited some temper. Why? Because he wanted to win.
A few people watching this year's Wimbledon event have said that they have noticed you at times been a bit edgy. Is there something in that at all?
I always showed my emotions on the court. At times I'm of course not always happy with the way I react, but in the midst of the battle, it's hard to be always controlling perfectly your behavior and your emotions.
His intensity, his desire seems to be back again.
When I feel like something is not fair, I just I react to it. So that's all.
Can that spur you on to be even better than you already are on court?
Well, sometimes it helps to fire me up, I guess, to make me even more alert, more energetic on the court. You need it sometimes, but obviously you don't want to get agitated, upset. You can't allow too many of those moments because you lose focus and unnecessary energy. It's always always a great occasion, always a great challenge playing Nadal. He dominated the whole clay court season. He's deservedly #1 of the world, and he's in form. He's full of confidence. So it's, I've definitely had him the role of the favorite, but I like my chances, and I like how I played so far in the tournament. So hopefully we can have a good one.
Well, Boris, you were in his corner for so many of the successes. How does he look to you?
He looks strong again. He's been playing his best tennis since his comeback, starting at the Queen's Club last week, and then he went through the first couple of matches as well. He was tested from Carl Anton. He was tested the other day from Nishikori. But we talk about his emotions. That's what makes him strong. Some parts of last year, before, he became too quiet, became too content, almost maybe too complacent. I like to see the street fight attitude a little bit.
So you like the fact that he's reacting now?
Very much. I mean, there's a fine line. He can't overdo it, and of course, if he breaks the rule, then the umpire and has to give him a warning. But he's always standing on that edge about to go crazy, yet bringing the best tennis out, and that's frustrating as a coach.
Yeah.
But you don't want to take it away because that's his X factor.
Well, it worked for McEnroe, didn't it?
It did, but I think the thing is that everybody gets upset. I mean, everybody, and it's how long do you stay upset for? And McEnroe would get upset, and then the next point he would play unbelievable tennis, and that's what Novak tends to do. Okay, he gets upset.
Didn't like this though, did he, when he got a code violation? But
bouncing the racket
was a fair
sacred grass
down on the court, wasn't it?
But you can't do that. That's the rules. You can't bounce your racket on the grass, and he knows that. But you know what? He's upset. You get it out, and you move on, and you move on quickly. If it goes 2 and 3 games in a set, and it's damaging to you, then you got a real problem. Then you got to come back and say, okay, I really messed up there. I got to look at myself. But he doesn't let that happen. Not too often. It's usually a point, maybe a 2. That's about it.
So what will he be trying to do against Rafa today?
Control the center of the court. That's easier said than done, because you want to control the tempo against Rafa, you want to control the speed and the direction where it's going. Once Rafa controls the center, and therefore the direction of the balls, you're in a running contest, some call it a marathon. You don't want to do that. So between these two players is who controls the baseline first.
And as far as the backhand goes, you think his cross-court backhand is going to be key today, do you?
Novak on his good day has maybe the best backhand in the world. Hit cross-court or long line. Ultimately, you want to get to the Nadal's backhand. In order to do so, you have to open it up through the forehand.
Absolutely.
That's why the backhand cross is so important for Novak today.
I'm so glad you said that, Boris, because that's exactly what we've got to show you.
Okay, good. What a team we are.
Exactly. Because, Pat, this is it. You've got to open up the court, but hitting the down the line actually isn't that easy, is it?
It's not,
change
but
direction?
look, here we are against lefty here, and we're sort of focused on some of the shots. And I think, Boris is right, his cross-court backhand is phenomenal, but when he starts hitting his backhand down the line, for me that's a sign of confidence as well. And of course he'll be going to Rafa's backhand there, which is probably where you want to get to. Not that Rafa's backhand is weak by any means, but we'll see some stat in a minute. Look at that. That wasn't even. It looked like just a normal shot, but it flew off his racket, and the grass helps the ball come on a little bit quicker. And if you want to hit the winner, the quickest way to hit a winner is the shortest point from A to B, and that's straight down the line.
So, Boris, you think that Novak can beat Nadal from the back of the court, or would you think he's going to be a little bit more aggressive? Just look at this.
Yeah.
This is him against right-handers,
so that's a down the line shot. The reds are the down the line shot, so that's to the right-hander's forehand, but to the left-hander the other day, he's hit way more. There's not a lot of shots. There's only one match, but he's hit 56% down the line. So is that something he's going to employ against Rafa? Because to try and get that down the line a bit more, you think?
Well, the danger is if you're not exactly in the corner, Rafa is going to hit you cross-court and you start running. It's really about who has to run first. This is going to be a physical contest. They will push each other for a couple of hours. I wouldn't be surprised to see 5-setter. So ultimately, who's going to win is who has to run less.
Do you think Novak will feel he's got to be a little bit more aggressive than he has been in the past against Rafa?
Very much so. I wouldn't say that he has to come to the net a lot, but he has to be aggressive from the baseline. He cannot just push the ball ball back, because again, you give the initiative to Nadal. You have to be fierce, you have to be smart out there, but you have to take control of the rallies.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic matchup, isn't it? I mean, there's going to be some brutal rallies today.
There is really, the brutal rallies is a perfect way of putting it. There really is going to be some phenomenal, this show reel is going to be amazing from this match. There's going to be side to side, there's going to be 10, 15, 20 shot rallies. You can see the guys huffing and puffing at the back of the court. And it's two of the fittest, fastest guys, most determined guys out there that we've seen who play, well, not all that dissimilar. One's lefty and one's a righty. They'll run all day and run you all day. And, what more can we ask for than these two? And they've played each other 50 times, is it?
51, this is the 52nd, and Novak's 26,
First time in grass,
25.
First time in grass.
No, 2011 final, Djokovic beat Rafa, yeah. I think it's that was the last meeting on grass, so we will find out anyway. But centre court certainly will be the place, and Novak Djokovic against Rafael Nadal, that will be the second match on centre court today. But first up, and I guess these two are going to serve the perfect little appetizer for the main course that is Rafa and Djokovic, because they are two of the biggest servers in the game in their first Wimbledon semi-final. It is John Isner against Kevin Anderson, and Kevin Anderson defeated Roger Federer in 5 sets, coming back from a match point down, 2 sets to love down. He's been telling the story of the match to Lee McKenzie.
And the man who's had his name engraved 8 times already on this famous trophy, a point away from a place in the semi-finals once again.
The toughest thing players face when going out playing